I am from Pune and I am in nursing profession. I'm working as a sister in a government hospital. And actually, I'm in meditation since 2 years, but not in consistent way. So now this Sankalpa I continuously doing the from the day first. Still, I have some challenges to concentrate and on the breath and all that as usual. It will it will come as practice, but I want to say ki I am little bit conscious about my on my work also. I am also doing the same thing. I am following others' mentors, so they are also saying ki whatever you are doing, do it consciously. So I am little bit more conscious about what I am doing, what I am saying. So same practice I am doing on my work. As it is government hospital, it is very heavy work on that. So I'm previously I'm irritating and scolding on the patients also, but now I'm more conscious and little bit calmness is there in me. So that will, and as the days as we practice day by day, it will it will more calm to me. So I'm hoping. So thank you, ma'am, for giving the opportunity. Thank you, Buddha Sivo team members. Thank you all.
Namaste, very warm welcome to the day 33 of our program, Gratitude, dear friends and masters. Spirituality is enlightenment. Friendship is the core essence of spirituality. As we practice meditation, we develop friendship. That is the fundamental characteristic. With meditation, first there is learning, then there is friendship. And when we recognize these two, there is enlightenment. As we practice meditation, our life can become simpler, uncomplicated, and so happy. Let us understand more about spiritual quotient from our master Chandra sir. Over to you, sir.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Good afternoon, evening. I am trying to be more mindful with my patients. I like the statement. People who need help, they come to us. When our job no longer becomes a routine job, and it becomes more filled with empathy, so automatically our response changes. So then all hospitals where meditation is there, beautifully transform into temples of service. We have to look to see how can I introduce this in every place that I am. There is no single place where it's not useful. Every place that I am there. Do you hear background noise? Okay. So we were understanding the 6 spiritual science theories, which is about the principles for that explain the nature of personal reality, how things are happening. When we add the energy dimension to it, energy and matter, so far we explored everything from a matter perspective. That it's a biological process, it's no random formation of things come together, this intelligent body is just randomly created. But from when energy is combined, we were understanding from the energy field to matter. So what comes here goes back. We're understanding this principle of natural reality and why things that are unexplainable that are there. How can you explain? There are many things that are unexplainable. For example, there is a video that I saw of a little girl. It must be there with many of you, and it's going in the, WhatsApp has a phase, right? There are a bunch of things go in the social media. A little girl was speaking with so much of clarity. She's talking about Kirta, she's talking about spirituality, amazing amount of wisdom. How can you even explain some little girl at 6 or 7 years or whatever, that the way she speaks, the way she just is a matter of fact. Ask any question, and then she immediately comes with an answer. Either citing a shloka, citing a story from Vedic culture, immediately you know that it's not cooked up, you know that it is just happening for her. 6 or 7 year old, how can you explain? How did they have all of this knowledge? How did they get the clarity? If the reciting is one thing, but synthesizing and bringing clarity in answers means that clearly you have it. You're accessing from somewhere. Oh, they are very engaged. She has this tremendous chill. Everything she has, she understood. Okay, that's just simple because you don't have words to explain. But in spiritual science, you can explain. Must be a greatest master of the past life. You started off very early. A great master. So the six spiritual principles that we start understanding, the first one, law of consciousness, a principle of consciousness. Everything comes from nothing and then goes back to nothingness. The nothingness is called consciousness. The energy, the field of energy, energy to matter, that we can comprehend. Everything comes from there, goes back to it. In quantum world, quantum view, quantum world. Through observation it comes, and then without observation it disappears. I get an experience into my life and we put my observation into it. Consciously today I do. Unconsciously I have done many things without even realizing what I want, and all of them are there in the past, so they also show up now. Because it is there, that's the nature principle. So principle of consciousness is saying things come from nothingness, go back to nothingness, they merge with it, and then they take another form, another form, another form. Then comes the principle of reincarnation, which is saying that we reincarnate. Derived from that principle is that we are reincarnating life after life after life, coming to here to experience life. So much of scientific evidence is there on it. We come here to experience, and then we go back to come back to experience something new. And principle of cause and effect is the law of karma. He is saying that when you come here, do things right. You come and I come and everyone come. We all come here together to do things right in a way that it is supporting everyone to experience more. If I don't do my action right, my role right in a movie of 10 people, then of course then it's going to impact everybody out there. But everyone came with an agreement. And so then if you don't do right, it's impacting everybody, then what should we do? We simply are collectively sit down and say, hey, you know what? You got to do it right again. Practice it again. So we go back and do that again. That's all it is. Law of cause and effect. That an effect is there for which we have to go back and then relive the cause. Then fourth thing is that as we live life like this, then there is progression. Always there is only an actor repeating 100 times a scene, only progresses. Some are careless, some are careful doing, so some take less takes, another take longer takes. Progression. Then principle of yoga, something that accelerates things, acts like a catalyst. So everything happens very quickly because there's a lot more mindfulness in it, a lot more awareness in it. So things happen a lot more quickly. And the principle of infinity, when you realize that that's how it is, then and the yoga and then meditation. Yoga means meditation, the realizing your higher self. Until then, we're only acting, living the life as just a body, but now live life as consciousness. Then suddenly you realize you have infinity at your disposal to experience. The 6 principles we're working on. Let's go into meditation once again and then discuss the ones that were not covered today after meditation. Record some on Wednesday. So if you missed this part, you can go back and listen to the recordings of Wednesday about principle 1 and 2 in detail. We understood. We want to cover the remaining principles today. Relax yourself, dear friends. We are practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to rest the mind, empty the mind of thought, and then connect with the surrounding intelligence out there called quantum field of energy, consciousness. When you observe your normal, natural breath with your eyes closed, as you see in the picture, then we are going into less and less thoughts of the mind, and slowly, slowly, mind goes into empty states. So observing the breath with your eyes closed, and then you put your attention in the middle of the eyebrows at this root of the nose, where the nose starts there, middle of the eyebrows. At that point, put your attention with your eyes closed and observe the breath there, and slowly thoughts come down, mind becomes empty. Then you are in the state of emptiness, which is nothingness, which is the quantum field of energy. You are there with it, the consciousness. And then as you rest the mind, and as you're experiencing emptiness is energy, so you may have some sensation, movement in your body. Witness all of it. At any given time, if you have thought and you notice that thought, simply move your attention back to the breath, the same reference point again on the nose, and then start the process all over. And I do this again and again and again every time thought comes. Every time I recognize there is thought. Called breath mindfulness meditation. This is where you spend maximum time in this meditation. And before we do this, we go into and then do this process of heart elevation for a few minutes. Just follow my guidance for this, dear friends. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. Relax your body. Scan your body from head to toe and relax. Dear friends, dear masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, keep your hands on your chest area. Rest your attention on your sacred heart. Can you feel your beautiful heart? Feel the center of all emotions, nurturing all life. with its energies of compassion, gratitude, kindness. With a slow, relaxing breath, connect with your heart center. With your attention on your sacred heart, feel it, dear friends. Can you imagine of an experience filling yourself with higher energies of joy, of appreciation, of kindness, helping someone in need, being in nature, spending a loving time with a child or whatever that may be. Imagine and move yourself into that elevated emotion, dear friends. And feel that energy. Relive that moment and feel that energy. Feel that vibration. The more you experience, with emotions of kindness, of appreciation, of joy, of love, the more one you become, the more coherent you move your body and mind into. The more coherent you become with this quantum field. And allow yourself to spread this energy onto those in need or to everyone, to everything. In all corners of this planet Earth. To help them know themselves, Feel, relive that moment and radiate that energy with your intentions. Elevate yourself. Become expansive, become loud. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in breath and the out breath, dear friends. We are going into powerful group meditation, dear friends. When you observe your breath, your mind slowly is becoming less and less of thought. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience that quietness, that calmness inside of you, all around you. As you empty your mind of thought, you experience your inner greatness. as your mind is becoming empty. You allow your body to function at its natural best in greater coherence. You channelize that liberated energy into the present moment. Becoming more mindful. yourself. To experience that emptiness, that calmness, all around you. That's energy, that feel of infinite potential, the feel of infinite wisdom. Merge into this vast, endless depth of that emptiness, spreading far and wide. The longer you stay aware of this calmness or emptiness, the longer you stay connected in this field of energy, the more miraculous you become, the more new you become. into the emptiness of yourself, your divine self. And it's truly a privilege to be living this life, to be exploring consciousness at this time of history. Many are not so blessed. Can you express gratitude to all things and everyone in your life? Your gratitude to your parents, teachers, mentors, your family, friends, colleagues, everybody. Be grateful to all the planets, stars, the plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom, animal kingdom. Your gratitude to everything you use, the technology, the governments, companies, systems. Gratitude to yourself and to this intelligent universe. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership.
All is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well.
Relax your body.
All is well, I can rest, I am
Let your autonomous nervous system repair your body.
All is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, all is
recollect your experiences from the session, and whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoy the session. Myths of meditation. So if I come into meditation, then I have to give up many things that I'm doing. Biggest myth, for example, you like indulging in luxury. You like to do some nice decorations, some kind of ritual and a puja. You like to gain some money. Myths of meditation is saying that slowly I'll have to give up all of it. If I come into meditation, I give up all of it. I recognize and see that everything is illusionary, everything is temporary, so I don't need them. But when we have to understand that meditation does not make you give up things, meditation makes you not attached to things. There's a difference. Giving up means not experiencing. Attachment means not wanting to experience again and again and again, and then going to suffering and sorrow when the things don't happen. So we don't give up things. We gain more clarity of how much to experience, what to experience. That's when life becomes even more adventurous, because you're simply not holding on to the same experience, same restaurant, same vacation, same people that we meet all the time, the same things we do all the time. Meditation helps you to bring that clarity to say, what is it that I really want? And then helps you to become mindful so the experience becomes more full. Ice creams have a place. The luxury has a place. Everything according to our interests, they have a place. No one needs to give up. If I'd like to go and worship, that's your choice. You do that, that's your choice. Nobody says don't do it. You become the master of your life rather than simply following just because everybody is doing, just because this is the way that I've been told from the childhood, then you just simply doing it. Instead, with meditation, you make your decision. Is it still serving me? Not serving me. If not serving me, I take it out. If it's serving this process, this methodology, I'll use it and I'll do it. When certain beliefs are there, for example, I have this strong belief that in my community, we are special. My community means this is only can be done, these things should not be done. The strong belief ingrained from the childhood. Now, meditation disturbs that. When meditation is first time helping you to question your belief system. So my belief is that I must always worship and worship. And when I come into meditation, start looking and saying, what am I gaining out of this process? Question that. Because a lot of times you don't have time even to sit in front of that statue or God and then even give adequate time. You're just rushing it because you have a belief. You're rushing it through a mechanical process. You get a ticking mark. You're putting a checkbox. Because simply have a belief that this must be done without necessarily involving into the process of reaping the real benefit of the process, not understanding, we're simply mechanically doing it. Now, when you come to meditation, everything that we do out of fear, everything out of attachment is questioned. You automatically start questioning, is it there? Now that disturbs the personality. Because the literature is saying, don't do things out of fear. Don't do things mechanically. Look at if any process you're doing, you enjoy them. Don't do things just because you've been told to. Instead, you enjoy the process. Ask yourself, doesn't matter anything. And so then there it touches, it disturbs your personality. It's called a personality is touched and disturbed whenever we get to hear things that are uncomfortable to us. Our uncomfort is because it is tackling at the root of the issue that you're holding on to as a dogma, as a belief, as something that you thought is the way of life, model. And so you're not ready to question that. But those who allow them to be questioned on everything they are doing will definitely move forward into the future, because if you are getting uncomfortable, that means perhaps there is something that is there which you're not necessarily doing the way you want it to be, instead of simply following a ritual, simply making it a belief that has come from the past. But otherwise, it's a free will system. Everyone can experience the life they want. If they choose, they decide, and then do whatever they want. Only one thing we constantly tell, do not hamper the progress of somebody else. If you like freedom, give the freedom to someone else. If you don't want to be told again and again and again what to be done, do not interfere into somebody else. If you don't want violence to be given, don't give violence to somebody. If you don't want to be killed, don't kill something. Encourage something to be killed. The animals are our friends, cannot be killed. It disturbs our personality. When I talk about it, it disturbs personality. No, how can it be? That's my staple, that's my food. Staple food. How can it be? It disturbs. Then suddenly, with that disturbance, then you want to just go away because you're suddenly worried. What happens to my eating habits now? Not a question, my friends. So the essence is that meditation is helping us to move in towards a higher experience in a way we live and we let live others, everything else. And it makes our experience full, mindful. That means you do not need to experience over and over and over. And so that means you're ready to move on to the next and next and next, because all in newness that we seek, we learn more in newness. Newness of experience, we learn more. And the more you learn, the more you are satisfied with yourself. So let me put up the charts around the 6 principles that we were understanding of the nature of personal reality, or the spiritual science, the science of how things are happening. And so the 6 principles are the principle of consciousness, principle of reincarnation. These 2 I covered. Everything coming from emptiness and going back to emptiness. From energy goes back to energy. That's consciousness. So everything is always happening that way. The tree, the stones are evolving into different shapes. The trees are growing out of nothing. Many things come, they rotate, they recycle themselves. Humans come and then go. It's all coming back from energy to matter, back to energy, that wonderful principle. Then reincarnation, and when you're coming here in this multi-dimensional, multiverse being, and so Earth is a frequency, we are here on this frequency. physically, we can only experience a few things through sensory perceptions due to the design of the body. You cannot see the entire spectrum of light. You can only see less than 0.1% of the spectrum through our eyes. You can only hear a small spectrum through our ears. And so there is an experience that we are going through in this matter. But when you become energy, you're experiencing many things. The reincarnation, you come back as matter, you experience energy becomes matter, goes back to energy matter. And so every time you come back as matter, you're experiencing another life, another body. And we are coming back to experience from where we left before. If I finish 5th grade, I come here 6th grade. That's obvious, right? That's what we do. Who wants to go back and study 5th grade 2 times? Nobody wants to do it. But if you fail, that means you didn't do your job right. And so you have to go and sit in the 5th grade again. That one becomes tougher. So we are coming back to start from where we left. And so then we start from where we left. And then we are taking, coming into the body again and again to experience something different, something more. That's reincarnation. And so then cause and effect is a third principle. The third principle is saying that it's called also the popular thing of law of karma. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So for every cause, whenever there is an effect, when there is a ripple in the pond, there must be a cause for it. Either water droplets might have fallen due to rain, or there is somebody threw a stone. Something must have happened. That's why the ripple is there. That effect is there. We see the effect, but there must be a cause behind it. Right? So the cause and effect is saying for every cause there is an effect. And so we are here reincarnating. Energy became matter, and then is there for a long time. Somebody observed, the quantum experience for observation manifests reality. So somebody observes, so we are here as matter. When that observation is gone, then the matter disappears into energy, which is the principle of quantum physics. And so then we go back, we disappear. Then we come back somewhere because consciousness is recreating itself. This is that intelligence part. Now, is it random? If it is random, how could it be again another life, another body is given? And so many bodies are given. Everything seems to be perfectly synchronized and orchestrated in itself, with billions and millions, billions of trillions of cells inside. So there is some intelligence which is then helping us recreate ourselves into another matter, another place, another thing. Now we are coming here to experience life, reincarnation. Now when we are experiencing life, we come here, will there be some purpose of why we come? Will it be random? That becomes very easy to understand. A smallest thing, a tiny thing like a pin, has got a purpose to pin up posters. And those pins have a purpose to put posters onto the wall. The tiny things are there. And if they have a purpose, and everything that we see around is always have a purpose. Without purpose, we don't even use them. And if everything has a purpose, then what about our body? Do we have a purpose? And they say, there's got to be some intelligence. There is an intelligent force creating the most intelligent system here in this planet. Human body is the biggest, you heard all of that. It is the largest supercomputer. It is the most fascinating system. It is the biggest pharmaceutical machine, and everything is used by every expert because it's just got that amazing capability. And so then there's got to have some important purpose. You build a supercomputer not for nothing. It's obviously it's got a purpose to solve the weather problems, to do something. The uniqueness is there for everything. And so, dear friends, that purpose, we all come here and to take birth again and again with a purpose to experience something. to give experience to somebody around us, and also we experience it. So we come with that specific role. It's exactly like a movie, right? A hero and a villain, and then supporting actors. Actors are all there having specific roles. And so you come with a purpose and you live the purpose, and then see you're not individual, you are in a group. In a movie, you are a group. So if you do your job right, then another person does his or her job right, and the other actors do their job right, then what do you get? You get a great movie. The most entertaining movie. One has to cry, they will cry. One has to laugh, they'll laugh in the movie. But then when the movie is over, they're laughing it off and saying, wow, I did such a beautiful emotion out there. And so we're coming here with the roles, with a specific purpose, specific design. That's why some people want to become entrepreneurs. From the childhood, they feel that where is it coming from? Some people come and say, I would simply want to, just be under this person and then work and work and work. Just take some employment. Some people say, just got this beautiful interest towards music. I'd like to experience music, and then I want to give that to everyone in my home or everyone in my community. So we come with different roles, and then in a way we come because we have purpose, and then the purpose is correctly fulfilled where we are of use to someone, where we are learning and enjoying it. And then so are others are doing it. So we experience many roles of our life on our own accord to experience something new. If you got vacations every year, you want to experience new. Would you want to go back to the same vacation? You want to new. You're looking at a job, changing job. You, of course, are looking for something new, a new manager, new place, new facilities, new work. Something new is there. That's how you change roles. And so then our life, dear friends, is also the same. We keep coming for different roles. Who is great? Who do you think is living? If you take an actor, two actors, one actor is saying, oh, I'm the hero and I always want to do only hero roles. No wellness character at all. I always want to be only hero roles, and always that adventure, that thing, that mightiness, that extreme compassion, all that is in a hero role that we show was a wellness role where you portray it as bad. Now, one is saying, I'm a hero, my image is there, I have to protect my image, and I only do hero roles. Otherwise my fans won't agree, this and that, and they stick on to the art role. Whereas another actor who is very versatile is saying, it's about me and then enjoying my thing, my skill of acting. And so I'm trying to do any role and every role that satisfies me and then brings my best of me out as an actor. Who is living their life better. Happens. So naturally, a person who is open to many roles because they're not attached to any, and so open because their purpose is to bring the best of acting. They want to experience life greatly in different roles, different acting, different emotions they want to fulfill. Yesterday, friends, we come for the same. It's just that here we get conditioned. Oh, my fans are there because they feel bad, so we get attached to it. Now suddenly we forget about our interests, and so we start living for others' interests, and so then we stop doing our role right. We get influenced. We are fearful. People are saying, no, we've got 3 children. Don't even try changing anything. Don't disturb your apple carts and just be the way you are, no matter whether you like or not. What? You have to compromise. You have to live like this. Why do you have children? You got to live like this. Whatever it is, like or no like, is safe job you have. This job in government is very, very safe. Don't even leave it. Inside, you're not satisfied at all. You go to work every day, come back, not at all happy in what you're doing, because it does not even give you the opportunity to invent, opportunity to try new things and do things of your own. But you're still going. You're stuck to the role because out of fear, because everything is conditioned. You're saying this is the way of life. Life means compromise. We've been told too many times, so we just stick to it. So then what are we doing? We come here. You must have come to probably become a great musician. You must have come to invent something, because then we went due to conditioning and took up something and we're not happy. Somewhere we feel, I don't know why I'm doing this job, but I'm doing it anyway. And slowly we compromise, we give up, we don't even question the way we are living, and then life goes on before you realize then you're ready to vacate the body. Things go on. But that's when it hits. My life is a waste. I couldn't even do basic things I wanted to do. So, dear friends, when we don't fulfill our role right, the way we designed and coming here for, now if you don't do your role right, the people around you are not happy because you're not happy. If you don't do your role right, what you came here for, you go into a company, it offers you, you join a company because they tell you, okay, we got a lot of new project, new technology. You go there, they'll put you in maintenance of something very, very old. Now, will you be happy? You'll not be happy. When you're not happy, are you productive? Not productive. Now, when you're not happy, your team members, can they be happy? Not. Because you don't even show interest in it. And so then they're not happy. So when we don't do our role right, neither we are happy, nor the people around are happy. When you don't do role right, then when you are not doing right, when I'm a hero, and if I don't do my job right, the villain cannot have its own character. If the villain does not do, then I can't even do my dialogue because he's not doing right thing. Then I can't do my dialogue well. So then you impact everybody around. It's called consequence. Consequence. There is a consequence for what we have come here for. So when you impact people around and in not letting them do what they needed to do because you have made an agreement with them together, then you have consequence to play. So it's called law of karma. Karma means when you think punishment, it's simply a consequence that caused because we did not do our role right. A child wants to thrive, they come here, but then they've been suffocated with a lot of rules and restrictions. But they wanted to thrive. They come here thinking that you are very, very open parents or open system, but they're suffocated with rules. There, the understanding is there, coming before the design, like, going into the job with an understanding that they're going to give me interesting things. But after going there, it's all changed due to various reasons. And so it is changed, and so the child is suffocated. And so there is a consequence for suffocating the child, but they comes in with an understanding. So principle of the law of reincarnation, where you come with a specific role to play, but then the law of cause and effect is saying that in the roles we don't play right. We agreed that will not hamper progress of anybody. We agreed that everybody is given their free will and freedom, but here we come and then hamper it, and so as a result we have consequence to live. I kill animals, I have a consequence to live. I suffocate somebody at my workplace, I have a consequence to live. There is a manipulation in the place, there is a consequence for it. If I break a rule in my community, there is a consequence, I know it. And I break a rule while driving beyond 80 or 100 kilometers per hour, 1 month later a ticket comes. But I can't deny and say, this is not me, I didn't do it. A lot of times we forget, and so the consequences show up when we forget, and then we deny, we're in denial. But the fact is that you did speed up there, and there are pictures there sometimes recorded. Now, same thing here. When something's happened in the past for which we are reaping here consequence, we don't have answers. But the pictures are there called Akashic records. They're there in the energy as memory. When you tune in meditation, you tune into some of those memories of past. And so then we suddenly realize, oh, okay, I'm reaping today, I'm suffering because last life or whatever, that I've strangled so many people to death, that I suffocated them so much today. Here, I'm suffocated in this community family when nobody listens to me, everybody pushing me, and I just have to follow. I'm in living total suffocation because I go back and see that we suffocated somebody else. Now, why did I do it? It's a free will system where one recognizes and says, I went there to live, let people live, but then I suffocated them. And I tried this two times, 3 times. Every time I went with an intention to let people live freely, but I couldn't. So I tell you what, I want to just go and then see what it means to be suffocated. Maybe that's when I really learn this lesson that I'll never want to get distracted with conditioning that no, I can go and suffocate, and distract with greed. So we come back trying to relive an experience of that suffering so that we really learn from it. When do we learn most? When that thing happens to us. That's when we say that I don't want this to happen even to my enemies, even my dreams, because then we feel so much that we decided that from that point onwards we don't want to ever cause that hurt and grief to something. And so we take a challenging role and our own accord to learn from the lessons to help everyone to experience life the way we want it. Law of cause and effect is there to living our roles, and if we don't live our roles, consequences there. I want a simple one-bedroom home, but I'm just greedy, and then whatever, then I just go and then build a 5-bedroom home in a beautiful forest area and just remove, 3 whatever acres of space, just clear it just for doing, for my own pleasure, killing so many trees, killing so many microbes, so many insects and anything, depriving many things. Whereas your need is so less, but instead it just went on this attachment. So there is a consequence, dear friends. There will be a consequence for what we create for that. So how do I live? The more clearer you become about what is that I need to have to experience, the less you cause consequent to others. That's all it is. And meditation helps us to become more and more clear about our choices. So in the context of nature of personal reality, in the context of this principle, when everything is self-creation, we have come here with our own design and accord. And so then there's no luck. There's no bad luck and good luck. Everything is just there. You have gone in with a role. You have gone in with a situation. Now, I went in with my own requirement. I chose a company because I thought that all things happen. I go in there. So it's all your creation. Law of cause and effect saying we come with this our own accord, with a purpose, we design and go. We choose a vacation place, we plan everything, we go. Right? So it's all self-creation. We recognize it. Good or bad doesn't matter because there is all experience. Everything is an experience. And so law of cause and effect is all experience are happening. Prince, pauper, king, queen, or beggar and a rich person, educated person. The different roles we're playing simply like movie actors. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower. This is the understanding we come to. Just because we got very successful company, another person failed, doesn't mean that that person is less intelligent. It's just a role they chose to play, so that the people around, the employees also learn to minimize their expectation. Perhaps somebody fails in a company, expectations become minimal. Otherwise, we just have rampant expectations. So perhaps it's for their learning that CEO took a role to be a failure in terms of making poor decisions. And so then there are the employees around are learning. Now, the CEO has a karmic learning there because then people are going to tell him, what you're such a waste, such a stupid. So many things he'll tell. And then CEO is saying, just because they say it, am I become stupid? Am I done my best, right? So the CEO is that way, that person is trying to overcome that push from others, instead still live his or her life greatly with his or her own understanding that did I do my job right? And if I did, then it's okay, failure is fine. That understanding must come. And so that's his learning, to be very patient, to be still living a normal life in spite of challenges that come, in spite of what our me. So that's his, then take a role like that, where everybody supports in doing that learning. So principle effect about learning. Our own thought suffering and not suffering for people who are cancer. They're one of the most compassionate to help life, to help become highly empathetic, highly compassionate. If we have somebody seriously challenged, illness challenged, then what do? We slowly develop empathy and compassion towards them. We know how to care for people. Caring attitude comes. And so for that, I had to take a suffering role so that people around me slowly learn. I think a suffering role not consequence from the past. And so then I take a suffering role instead of a enjoying role. And so this is how I'm going to learn. The unbounded growth of the cells. Unbounded growth of the cells in the body. There's no bound, nothing is going to contain it. So if you've done unbounded things without a limit of many things, then it potentially comes here. So, dear friends, cause and effect. There are beautiful books by Dairy on cause and effect, or law of cause and law of karma. Must be reincarnation and cause and effect are very, very important two laws that sort of explain everything about orange is simply self-creation, not punishment. If we have consciousness, how can we punish ourselves? Who do we punish? It's all poorly understood, and then we become helpless and say, okay, my karma, my fate, karma, we are writing our own fate. There is a concept of prarabdha karmas and everything that exists before pranam samskaras. Life. You take 10 places in the world you want to do vacation. Now can you do all 10 at a time? You can't. So what will you decide? Okay, this year I'm going to do this one. Then after a while you bring funds together, and then again say 2 years later I'll do one more vacation. You need some resources, funds, all of that. So same thing, we take our lives to experience different aspects of it. We come in one role, another life, another role, another role, like that. All right. So the cause and effect, when it's understood well, never a challenge. Everything, it's all simply for learning. Then, dear friends, the other three laws are very simple. Is constant progression easy to understand? But there's only a learning in every experience. See, Thomas Alva said, every time I fail in making a bulb, I've learned what not to do. Yes or no? Even though you fail many, many, many times, and the theory goes that the story goes they perhaps failed 1,000 times, but every time you fail, what we thought is a failure, there is something that you learn there to not do things. So a student getting 40 marks now is not, the system makes them as a failure. But if you look back, the student perhaps was a child born in a village, never went to school, playfully went and came every now and then erratically, and then perhaps only scored 20 in an earlier lifetime. So here is scoring 40. And so then a child is failure or successful. What do you call it? When you increase your horizon, everything is a learning. So somebody who did not even go for new education, here is started education. Their intellect is developing just in the nascent stage. So obviously they will score less, but then here we try to brand everybody the same and say we brand them failure, put a mark on them. But in reality, dear friends, there's only progression. There's no failure at all. Success, failures are given by us, they're relative, right? Someone who a startup for a VC venture capital, when it grows at 10%, it is a failure. For another venture capital, when it grows at even 8%, it is success, depending on how they want to see it. Who got the company to 10% growth. Now in the next startup is looking at it saying, oh, 10% growth, I've gotten it done. So let me aim for 30, and then they'll do it 30. So they'll grow at that level. So there's only progress. And each experience is called constant progression. We are always progressing. There's no failure at all. So the moment we recognize the difference, we don't have regrets in life. No regrets. The only thing that I have, am I doing my best at any given time? The moment you answer to yourself that I'm doing my best, then no matter what the system says, forget about the system, because system had to be designed when you have a big group of things, and then you got to have some system, some mechanism. and they need to become more rationalized. And so then some schools these days do not give these marks, right? They give buckets of marks used to have gone away into the grades. Now even that has gone away, is slowly going to old type of in the previous world where the learning is relative to the individual. So the children are always brought into ashrams, and then teacher is working with one-on-one. If somebody is not ready for a certain thing, then they're still taught that, and others have been moved on to the next one. Here we try to promote everybody into the same level, so otherwise we just say, okay, your failure sit here. Something similar, but it needs to be a lot more granular, right? So no matter what the system is saying, because it has to devise some system that are there, where it can become a lot more individual. It's one-to-one. It's never everyone together. But the thing is, the system is there, but then we recognize while the statistics say, okay, your company failed, but you know deep inside you worked your best, and so you've done your best. There, that's all matters, dear friends. No failure. And then the fifth one, dear friends, is meditation. When meditation is given into our life, there is a shift. With meditation, we build awareness. We stop attachments. We start living to ourselves, to our consciousness, as opposed to trying to satisfy everybody and then get conditioned by others. So as a result, with a mindful living, with meditation, you bring so many experiences. Many people say, my life is just so many things are going on in my life. I never imagined I'm doing these things. Because it just simply moves us away from the old thinking, limited thinking. The limitations drop, and so then suddenly you become unlimited to experience many things. You don't think anything is not possible. So just the thought itself is sufficient for you to stay positive, stay open, for you to allow new experience to happen. Right? And so it's like a catalyst. Everything is accelerated. You want growth. Earlier you're thinking, okay, is good enough if I am going to get 10% hike. Now you're thinking, if it's miraculous thinking is there, why not? I'll get 50% hike. You're going to do many more things with it. Earlier you're thinking, okay, just good enough, I'm somehow survive in this market as a business leader. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, it's my thought that limits me. So I'm going to get about 50%, 25% growth this market. You get it. So now you have suddenly a lot bigger, your goals expand. Your goals expand. You do many more things. You allow many things to happen. It's called catalyst. What takes years with a catalyst takes a few days. So meditation accelerates things because now you're living as the infinite. You're not living as a tiny material body saying, my capabilities are limited, my body can only do this, it cannot do it, doesn't support, I'm old. All these things have gone. Instead, you're living like consciousness where there's no limit. So then we use this word. My life is, I'm experiencing miracles every day. What's a miracle? Experiencing things that are uncommon, things that you don't expect to happen commonly. You thought you never had money sufficient for an international vacation, but you've done 3 vacations last year. Then you say, okay, I don't know how miraculously things happening. There's a word you use that's good enough for you as a miracle. You thought your body will never recover. That IBS issue, irritable bowel syndrome issue that you've been suffering for years, a whole lifetime, that migraine caused you so much of suffering, you thought, okay, this is a way of life. I just got to sit to live with it. But then suddenly it's no longer there. They say, by miracle, it healed miraculously. It does because you stop limiting yourself and you're allowing your body to really support itself. It's the most intelligent system out there. Just by not interfering. So, dear friends, meditation creates miracles. Ordinary life becomes a miraculous life. We published a book called The Miracles of Meditation, 40 Masters, Their Experiences. Our goal is to bring all these things so that if others can do, we can do. And so please read that book, The Miracles of Meditation by Buddhist Quantum Foundation, one of the recommended books on day 4 we recommended in the Wisdom Note. You'll find the stories when the people narrate. Ordinary people are saying that, no, I'm experiencing so many miracles. I manifest things at will. Then, so dear friends, naturally, the moment that happens, then there's infinity is all that is we recognize. The quantum physics principle that we saw, that there's infinite potential of the field. Everything energy, sitting there as energy, waiting for your observation to experience it into matter on this planet. And so it's up to you how much you think, how much you feel for what you want to experience. And so then experience life in many ways. You learn in many ways, unbounded life. But you're very, very empathetic. You're very, very connected and considerate because whatever you wish to have for yourself, you wish for others also. Because that thing automatically comes because in meditation, every day you experience limitlessness, you experience connectedness. Right? Aham Brahmasmi, limitlessness, I am the whole, so everything is with me. And then connectedness is Vasudhaika Kutumbakam. Because that connectedness is there, you see everything as one family. Not only your family, extend the boundaries to everyone, dear friends. So coming back to this conclusion of this whole 6 principles of reality, from nothing comes everything. We recognize it. So even if you don't have anything, we recognize that, yes, I can have something in my life. That's the first understanding. I don't have anything in my life, but I can create it. The first principle, consciousness is saying that I can create. And the second thing, death limits me. And the moment we understand reincarnation, I move it and say, okay, I just simply go on experiencing. It's okay. I'll do that more expedition. Everest expedition, no problem. I will start my second business, no problem. I mean, at 60. So we're not worried about death, and so then hold ourselves back and say, we'll live true to our feelings, because ultimately your feelings tell you what you come here to do, the purpose. So we do that. We stop ourselves limiting from death and fears. Then third thing, with the cause and effect, we stop blaming people. We're saying, okay, it's all my creation. I came here with my own accord and role. Amitabh Bachchan chose his role of being a villain in a specific thing or a hero in a specific thing. Is his role he chose. And then here, because I chose the role, I chose the environment, characters, I don't come here and complain just because others are not doing it. Instead, okay, I have the potential, I've chosen, and so then I need to figure out a way to make things happen, then to complain and crib. You become helpless. So we say nothing luck, it's self-creation. Problems are not problems, they're there simply for learning. This is the understanding you have with cause and effect. Challenges are there for me to learn. I've chosen a tough role so that no, I can become the best. When we gain our best, when we have only problems, we know that. When there are big challenges, we're thrown out of a comfort zone, then we figure out a way to come out. Failure is not there, only progress. We stop viewing things as failure, no longer see anything as a failure. Everything is only temporary in a given time frame. Even in your company, for example, they did an assessment, and the assessment, suppose you thought excellence, but you only got good or whatever, need for improvement. And you see within the time frame, it's not seen as a failure. It's in the time frame of that, within the context of that manager and you, and many aspects that come together and say, okay, now you start immediately question and say, am I a failure here just because I didn't get what I want? You recognize and say, first put things into perspective. Okay, I did my best. Now they have an understanding and view. And so rather than calling yourself a failure, but in this whole year, if you did your best, but still something didn't come, you look at it and say, I know, they give you 3 reasons. You look at it and say, okay, it makes sense. I could have pushed myself a little bit more, but I didn't do them. If that's a criteria, that's a criteria. But I still learned 5 things. The 6th thing I did not do. So you look at that perspective. Rather than saying, when we scored 99, you don't look for that one didn't happen, you see a failure. Instead, you say, I've gained 99, so great it is. That's how the failure to progress become, right? And ordinary to miraculous. So when yoga, meditation is there, you live life unbounded, live life as consciousness. And so naturally, you live life as one. So miraculous, things start happening miraculously that I never thought. Unexpected things happen. And then finally, unlimited life. Now you see, this is on the right side is the properties of consciousness. If we call consciousness or a God or something, these are the properties. It's everything, it's a forever, it's creating itself constantly. Srishti, Brahma is creating There's always so much of experience happening. Progress is there because all evolution is always happening. It's always miraculous, surprising, miraculous things are there, unlimited life. So we simply become a new self, dear friends, as consciousness. And imbibe the properties of consciousness is how the principles of reality are explaining that we, as an ordinary human being, are constantly evolving with meditation. We truly recognize the unlimited nature of us and go into it. Without meditation, we're living a very, very limited, fearful life. Without this knowledge, meditation and knowledge combined together help us to be conscious. Thank you very much, dear friends. It's always wonderful to understand these topics. Yes, Namita madam.
Yes, very enriching session indeed. Being energetic as mind becomes restful is just a small byproduct of meditation. Whole idea of meditation is to merge with the whole, to become the whole. Outside me, I see the universe. Inside me, I am the universe. Thank you so very much again, sir, for this wonderful talk. And as of now, there is no announcement for today.
Okay. Thank you all.
Everybody gets a heart, everybody gets a soul, everybody gets a mind to let them know that we can be smart, that we can be kind, that we can be living by giving and loving all the time. So on the
Okay, friends. Anyone would like to talk about your experience so far? Anybody looking at what is the nature of our true reality? If nothing, this hope will bring a lot of questions and will help you dig deeper of who we are truly. While we do want to live, I mean, the whole premise of practicing meditation is to live our life fully. We live and experience everything when we understand who we truly are. Anyone would like to ask questions or share maybe some experience that you may have the last close to 5 weeks now? There are no other questions. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you, friends. Thanks for joining today. We all will meet on tomorrow again. Thank you, Rakesh sir, for joining.
Yes, goodbye. Good night, friends.
Yeah, sir, I'll end the session.
Yes.